Here's something I notice a few times a week at Stanton House Inn. A guest comes through the front door, bag still in hand. They've got the week on their mind, the drive, the traffic on I-95, which is its own sort of test. And somewhere in the few steps between the door and the front desk, you can watch their shoulders drop. That's the whole thing right there. And that's what we're actually offering here at Stanton House Inn. Most places force you to choose between three versions of imperfect. A hotel is polished and forgettable. You've stayed in that exact room before in some other city. A rental gives you privacy and a thermostat you'll be fighting with at midnight. A bed and breakfast sounds lovely right up until you're forcing conversation before you've even had any coffee. I've never found a clean label for what we are. We're not quite a hotel. We're not the kind of bed and breakfast people worry about. And we're not a rental where you're on your own when and if things go sideways. We're a historic house in Greenwich, Connecticut with 21 rooms and suites. More private than the bed and breakfast you're picturing, warmer than a hotel, calmer than Manhattan, and still a short walk into town. As far as check-in is concerned, you hear from us before you get here, so arriving is never a guessing game. You park out front for free. If you're coming in late, there's an envelope with your name on it, and everything you need inside. No app, no line, no handoff to get through before you're left to relax. You arrive, you take a deep breath, you're already settled. One guest defined our elegantly charming hosting style better than I can. She called it just the right mix of privacy and service. Another said the common rooms have none of that goldfish bowl feeling of a hotel lobby. That balance is the thing we work hardest to get right. The way I think about it, good hosting is two things at once. Hey, real quick, if any of this sounds good to you, click the link in the description for a free visitor's guide to Greenwich, Connecticut. Thoughtful preparation, and then respectful distance. Someone thought about you before you got here. And once you've arrived, we get out of the way. 7 of our rooms have their own private entrance, a few with both a private and indoor way in. The code to access your door is tied to your phone number, so it's hard to forget. You can go from your car to your room in under a minute and never pass a front desk at all. In the evening, the house gets quieter. People come back from dinner and settle into the living rooms, the library, the lounge. Someone reading by the fire, a record on in the study, nobody keeping track of anyone. There's a difference between being cared for and being cornered. We stay on the right side of that line. Where the property is concerned, there aren't many properties like this left in Greenwich. It's green, it's quiet, and it hasn't been built over. We're not in the middle of downtown. We're a short walk from it, and that bit of separation does a lot of work for us. It's about a 10-minute walk to the top of Greenwich Avenue. Whole Foods is closer than that. The train into the city runs around 50 minutes, and the station is a 5-minute cab ride away. Easy to reach when you want it, easy to forget all about it when you don't. Out back, there's a part of the property we just call the ruins. You follow a path out back to a quiet lawn ringed by old stone walls, vines spilling over the sides. Guests tell us it feels like somewhere in the Mediterranean. It's my favorite spot on the whole property. And yes, I personally love it more than the pool, although the pool has a ton of fans. All 21 rooms are different. The promise behind them isn't. Some have fireplaces, some have private porches, some have clawfoot tubs, a whirlpool. The house faces east, so the light is good no matter which one you're in. Whatever room you book, it was made comfortable first. It isn't decorated to look historic, it just is. The kind of house where the chairs and the books don't quite match because they were gathered over decades, not ordered all at once. Comfortable first, elegant second. In that order. That's elegantly charming. One guest got stuck here during a January snowstorm. Not ideal, on paper. She figured she'd be bored out of her mind. Instead, she spent 2 days reading by the fire, wandering the house, and coming down to a breakfast she didn't have to think about. She later called it the most restful part of her trip. Another guest, 10 days into a New England road trip, said this was the spot that felt like the real thing, not a version of a New England inn. The actual thing. If what you want is a 24-hour front desk, bell carts, and a lobby the size of a small airport, there are great hotels nearby. I'll gladly point you to one. That's just not what Stanton House Inn is. But if you'd rather be left alone with a good chair and a quiet house, you're in the right place. My name is Colin Pearson. I'm the second generation to run this as an inn and the 4th in a family tied to this house for far longer. My parents opened it in 1985. My father left a banking job in New York City to do it. When they were ready to close this chapter of their life, I came home from Charleston, South Carolina. Partly because I love this place, and partly because I couldn't stand the idea of letting it leave the family. Since then, I've tried to shape the stay around what guests actually tell me they value. Quiet, privacy, the feeling of being somewhere real. So if that sounds like the kind of place you've been looking for, start with your dates. See what's open. We'll see you soon.